Hey, how's it going, guys? Jupiter here. Wanted to make a little video just to get something off my chest and to just rant a little bit, get some stuff off my chest. I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to talk about being right and loneliness, um, which not only myself but a lot of us have dealt with, both of them. Um, I'm going to talk about being right first. Okay, I see people getting so angry, fighting the good fight. Well, like not even, I can't even say that. Like putting all their time and effort into these meaningless arguments that get them nowhere. And it's one of the most aggravating things to ever see that I've ever seen. Because people will argue this stuff. People will say, uh, so you want to say that African Americans don't have rights, blah 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 blah, like all this bullshit, right? Um, and I, for one, basically just to put my little input is each race faces their difficulties. Each race has their problems. Each race, faces some sort of obstacle. That's just my view of it, and I'm gonna leave it at that. People will argue back and forth on topics like this. Another example is, Trump. Trump is an ignorant bastard, whatever, right? People will say all this stuff, and then someone will come along and say, no, he's not. He's doing whatever, right? And again, just to give my little input, I have no stance on the subject when it comes to the presidential race or campaign, whatever. Um, what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to these arguments, people try so hard to be right, but it doesn't get them anywhere. Like, what are you trying to achieve here? What is the point of putting all this time and energy into this argument that's not going to get you or the other person anywhere? Seriously, like take a step back and like think about it. Let go of your meaningless bullshit, pride, whatever, and like just notice what you're doing. See what these people are doing, because their arguments, even if it's fact, opinion, fact, whatever, it's bullshit. It it won't get them anywhere. People will argue in person or on Facebook statuses, you know, waste all this time and energy. But again, and I keep reiterating this, I sound like a broken record, it's not going to get them anywhere. And it's so sad. Because if people, and this is with everyone, I'm not going to say this is like the millennials, this is the baby boomers, like whatever. I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is that everyone, because everyone at least once in their life has done this, what if we just put that effort towards something else? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm over here like going to all these rallies or anything like that. I need to learn from this too. I really need to start to practice what I preach. But it's not worth being right, okay? Like, I can't tell you how many times a person has put like some status like arguing about something, right? And then, you know, like a family member or a friend will like delete them or something. And it's sad, you know, because it's like, in a way, you're sort of losing somebody. Um, and I guess losing someone isn't that bad. This isn't talking about a death, by the way. Death is something else. And I'll elaborate more on this in a little bit when I'm talking about loneliness. But it's just so, I don't know, it's messed up. So, and it's kind of tough to see because so me personally, I got friends, you know, all over the place. You know, I got friends who think Trump is all right, that Hillary's all right, that Bernie's cool as fuck. But, you know, they don't go around forcing their beliefs on anybody. They're not like, listen, I'm right and this is why, you know. And that's why I was able to maintain such a cool relationship with them, even now, because you know, they've treated me with kindness, respect, and they've respected my beliefs and what I've had to say. They've respected just about everything, really, what I have had my input in, and that's why I'm still friends with them. You know, like, yeah, we have different views, but that doesn't mean we can't necessarily be friends. You know, so by the end of the day, is it really worth being right? Is it worth it? Is it worth, you know, having that family member? Oops, got the hand in my face there, my shot. You know, is it worth your family member not talking to you no more? Is it worth, you know, losing that one friend that respected you and all that, right? And I'm not saying don't like express yourself. Everyone has a right to do that. But the fact of the matter is, you know, you can just drop something and just be like, um, you know what? That's your view, and that's fine. I have no problem with what you know you believe in, what you think is right. All I'm asking is that you respect what I believe in just as much as how I respect what you believe in. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like, especially my generation, well, not even my generation, just every generation again, everyone has this issue, has so much pride. Like our society has so much goddamn pride. It's sad. Like the AC went off. Sorry. And it's sad because when you have too much pride, you actually lose the people that you really love in your life, that you really appreciate in your life, the people that you really respect in your life. It's upsetting, you know, just to see what people would do to be right, to go to these lengths. Like I don't know how much to explain it. It's just very upsetting. Um, so I don't know whenever you see an argument or something like that, just think about it. Instead of me arguing with this person, what if I just put my efforts somewhere else? Like literally anywhere else. What if I put this anger towards like the punching bag? What if I put this anger or effort, whatever, into like learning guitar, into learning how to, I don't know, out of nowhere, balance my checkbook, you know? But no, we want to focus so much on just being angry. And I don't know, it's just like super upsetting. Um, and it's just annoyed me a lot that I just needed to talk about it. Um, so loneliness. This is sort of a touchy topic. Jesus, what happened to my voice there? Sort of a touchy topic, um, but I feel like a lot of people should hear this. Um, Loneliness, you know, I've dealt with it. We've all dealt with it. You know, whether you know you didn't have a family or you had family growing up, it's still something you dealt with because of the fact that, um, like, people will always say, like, how can you feel lonely when, you know, you live with your family, you know, you got all this stuff going for you, it's all awesome. But it's not necessarily how it works. That's not how it works at all. Um, I can't even describe loneliness. You know, it's a feeling of vulnerability, of I don't know, of empty vulnerability, like negative vulnerability. It literally feels like you're just there by yourself. Everything that you're thinking, everything that you're feeling, no one else can relate to you. Um, and you know, this can come from like you going through some stuff, etc., etc. Point is, I'm grateful that I went through my loneliness, and I'll tell you why. I'm grateful that I went through my loneliness because it got, you know, it showed me to be appreciative of the people around in my life, the people that did put effort into being there for me, you know, into just like all around every you know, stuff like that. Because you see from loneliness, you actually get to see, you know, who's there for you, who's not, um, stuff like that. And through loneliness, personally, I was able to find peace. I was able to learn from it. I was able to, you know, take a step back. Because like when I first started high school, maybe like my sophomore year, maybe my freshman or senior year, not that much. But my sophomore and junior year of high school, it was dope because I had a lot of people, okay? But I still felt lonely, okay? And then, you know, stuff went down my senior year that uh, I'm not gonna go too far into. I like froze there for a second, sorry. Um, but it it made me take a step back, um, and just look at what happened in like a broader view. Okay, just like I hate to sound like this obnoxious, this like televangelist thing, but It literally felt like when I was alone my senior year, um, it felt like I was on top of a mountain and I was able to see everything in a broader image. I was able to see it more far out, more broader. I was able to see like the final point, I guess. So, you know, loneliness, depression, all that, it's not permanent. Um, it really isn't. And it's such a painful and dreading thing to go through. I've struggled with it for a long time. Um, but you can learn so much from being lonely. You know, if you're just like laying down by yourself, sitting down by yourself, take a step back, stare at the wall, look at the ceiling, and just think, or even close your eyes, just think. Like, is being lonely teaching me something far more than life sucks, or like, oh, no one's there for me? Because along the way, you get to meet all kinds of people, you get to make all kinds of experiences. Um, my final point is you can learn so much from being lonely. Don't look at it as just a negative. I understand when you're lonely at the moment. If you are lonely at like right now, if you are lonely, it, you're not going to realize it now, but you'll be able to see that it's beneficial. Again, this is my personal experience. I just hope that I can show you guys like how else it could be seen as. It, for me, it was beneficial, like I said. I've always had two good homies. They were in the video, that Counter-Strike video where we were all yelling and stuff. And my girlfriend. You guys have seen her in the like the Cry of Fear video, stuff like that. They were there for me. Like, if I was sad, they would text or call and be like, "Hey, like, how can I be there for you? What can I do?" You know, um, and that's what helped me get through it. All the people who didn't hit me up, all the people who didn't put effort into being in my life, they eventually faded away. And you know what? Now they're the kind of people who would put these statuses and cause these arguments and just lose all these like people that respected them. So here, I'm gonna sit down here. They lost all these people. It's just something to think about it. Like the final note I guess I sort of want to end on is being right worth it? And, please remember that loneliness, depression, like all that is so temporary. I can't put enough emphasis on that. It's temporary. And years from now, months, whatever, you look at it and be like, that was a good experience, actually. Right at the moment, it's a bad one. Flat out, I'm not gonna lie, being lonely sucks. But later on in life, you'll be able to see it, and you're gonna be appreciative of it through the experiences you had. Um, because now, I mean, for me, I only talk to, on average, those two guys and my girl. I only talk to them on the basis, like on an everyday basis. And I just chill with my family. I'm working, I'm like, I'm just doing my own thing. Like, and it's so beneficial to me. Um, it's been so beneficial for me because now that I'm doing my own thing, now that I don't have like all these friends. That sounded kind of bad. I'm not saying that I'm too good for a lot of people, but I'm saying, you know, I'm more happier than ever. I'm in a good place in my life right now, and on occasion, like I might be a little lonely, but that I get rid of that feeling like the next day because I know it's gonna get better. It always does. It always gets better. That's something I can guarantee. So keep waking up, keep doing your thing. Be proud of who you are, and yeah. So that's where I'll end it at, guys. Sorry, got like a little touchy right there at the second. I didn't mean to offend anyone in this video. I just wanted to give my thoughts, just because like I had so much to say. Um, but yeah, you guys. I mean, thanks for watching. You know, leave a like and favorite if you haven't already. Um, I mean, and share this. You know, like I don't know. Don't even share it. Don't even like it. Whatever. Just leave it as is. Actually, just you, the viewer, just like think about what I said. Take a minute and just think about what I said, because I don't know. I'm talking way too damn much. Um, so, I mean, till next time, guys. I'll try to lay off making videos like this, but for sure. Um, take care of yourselves. Feed your dog. Tip your waitresses, and always be kind to one another. Please. The world is such an ugly place now that we really need to start looking out for one another. Jupiter, out.